The city I wrote, home to the gritties.
From old school boom back to backpacking and a rack, I'm laughing at the scallywag. Practice till I'm bad
So rotten, my people love you forgotten.
Yeah, I got a good heart. I was born on beat, that's a good start.
This one's from my sisters. This comes from the heart, from the little girls in the park to the baby mamas working hard.
I'm better than what? Better than who? Better than me? I'm better than you. Better than what? Better than who? Better than me? I'm better than you.
Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. To the top round dogs with me. If you don't know about me.
Bruv, you are having a bubble. I'm a whole different kettle of fish. Thou shalt not mess with this. My thing, I tell him like this.
I am big, I am bright, I am rougher than fun. I am tougher than a lion, tougher than the...
Street Summer, a season of programmes on street culture, coming soon on 4.
Hello everyone, my name's Michael Gregory. I'm a compositor at a supervisor at the Moving Picture Company. Today I'm going to talk about a job that I finished a couple of months ago. And it was a really interesting job because basically the director came in and said, you know, I want it like Google Street View, but I want to be able to punch in super tight. And he goes, so how do I do it? And then, you know, obviously that's you know, to work out what cameras to shoot it on and how to get the desired look and effect. So I knew, you know, I had a HDR setup that we used for lighting and doing the references. And I knew that I could, with the spherical transform node, I could basically create a lat long and project it on a sphere and put a camera move if I had, you know, 3 8mm shots like that. So I'll go through shot 1 first of all, which is just stills, and I actually shot it on a 5D, and that'll kind of explain the method, and then I'll get it to the shot 3, which is when it's kind of combining the moving camera with the stills, and kind of the, you know, the massive demand and creating one shot which is effectively over 70 seconds long, you know, with smooth transition. So I'll take you through shot 1 first of all. So, you know, this is just a 5D with an 8mm camera on. So you're shooting at 120 degree increments so that you get the full street, and so you get something like that basically. So this is looking down the street, and then that's up the street we're shooting down, and that's the reverse. So we wanted to populate this with lots of actors. So we had we ran the talent through it, and I was just taking stills, and I could then build up lots of plates that were populated with lots of different people. So, you know, this is the original shot, and then this is taking various different skies at different exposure settings and building it up. So I did that for all three plates, and then this is basically you could call it the bastardized HDR setup, which is putting in the 8mm lens, undistorting it, and doing that for each plate. And then what you get is an image that looks like that. So that's the three different plates stitched together. And then when you project that, obviously you can put any camera move you want. So when we come here, that's the image we're feeding in. And then you just get, it's really beautiful. You can just animate the camera wherever you want, and it's perfect. It's just a linear move. We didn't want any motion blur on it, so it mimics exactly what you get with Google Street View. So if I can just look up here, and once this is all set, then you can just sit there with the director and effectively give him any camera move that he wants. So that was, you know, really important. Let's put it on there, play it back. So, in effect, you can put on any camera move you want, which is perfect. So that's, you know, that's pretty simple. It's really easy to do, you know, and that worked on shot one. But then I had to work out a way of then going in super close. So, you know, that's just a camera move you can put on. So the final camera move for that looks something like this. And this is all, you know, flat scans before the DCP. So that's kind of the method that works. So I had to work out, you know, how to get that to work with professional cameras and shoot the live action and go in super tight. So if I go to my other setup, so what we have here, this is the bit that starts with the BMXer. Now this is basically one whole shot from here. So this made up of all these plates, so that's the first transition. So we decided to shoot on the red camera because I needed the resolution, and also stick the 8mm lens on it. You know, because it's a 16:9 back, you don't get the full spherical image. So I had to kind of adopt my my setup to make it think that it was still getting the 8mm image. So in effect, that's the same thing, but we're running live action through it, and it's the same process of, because we're running live action, I could then take a frame and paint it in, and because the shot was locked off. So the idea was we'd shoot the live action, and then I'd do the 8mm in and out so that I could build the camera moves. So this is the 8mm shot going into it, so that I can put the camera in and rotate round, and then just running the action through it. Then we can say, right, okay, I like, you know, the director can go, right, I want him in that frame, and I want him in that frame, and that guy in that frame, and then I can just take it in and paint a still in. So the next challenge was to work out, you know, how to get in super tight. So I was kind of chatting with the DP, and I was like, well, what I really need is I need to be able to, ideally I need like an 18mm that gives me all heads and shoulders and legs on one camera, and then a super tight 50 or 100mm on the other one. And he was like, well, why don't we shoot it on a mirror rig? And that, you know, that's perfect, because we had an 18 there, 75mm camera there, and then effectively a plate that I could stitch together, and then create a 4K plate that I could, in effect, zoom in between an 18mm lens and you know, all the way to a 200, because you can punch in so tight onto red footage. So this is an example of the two plates. So this is the mirror rig, so obviously shot at the same time. This is 18mm, and then this was 50 in this instance, but we could change the lens for any shot depending on how close you wanted to get in on. So for Miss Dynamite, for example, that was on a 135, so because we knew we had to go in so tight. So with those two images, then I can put them together. So what you have is that's the 50mm comp tom, and then the beauty is I can then zoom in and out of the plate however I want to without losing any resolution. So this is my 4K plate, you know, and I can go, it's motion blur, but I can go, you know, super tight like that. And if we didn't have this mirror rig, then your image would, you know, it's going to look like that, which would just look like a dodgy post effect. So having this concept was beautiful, because then I could effectively put on any camera move going in and out of the transition, and then zoom in and out of the talent. So applying my same method with the 8mm, so we'd work out our angles, and that's effectively shooting down the street and then round at 120, and then I could stitch those plates together. Like so, And now this plate here is made up of the two 8mm plates, then with the mirror rig set up there. So then when I, reproject it, I can go around, put the camera move on, and then do my transition into the live action, and then come back out again, and then I've shot plates coming back out so that I can redo it. So each time, each camera move is this setup, going into live action, coming back out again, and then going around to this side of the street. So it's exactly the same method. So I could just keyframe here. And that's obviously the edge, but we knew that we weren't going that far round, so we didn't need it. And the beauty of this was, once I basically built the whole edit together, I could then, sitting with the director, I could put on any camera move I wanted, which was great, and we could look at the pace of the whole thing and make it faster and slower. So any transition coming in and out, I could put any camera move on and then punch in and come out again. So it was, a really neat little setup that really had the Google Street View effect. So it's exactly the same for each side. So that's the one for me to go in, and then that's a different plate for when I come back out again. So it was really important to keep the continuity of the people walking. So, the bin man on the other shot is at the beginning, and then when we come back out, he's moved round again because it's the same as the live action. So so it was really important to make sure that everything lined up properly. Otherwise, you'd see people in the same point, and you'd think, right, okay, that doesn't really work. So it's exactly. So I've come out of here, and then I go back into, and then go into the girl coming out of the laundrette here, and that's exactly the same, mirror rig. So that's the two plates, and putting it together. And that's the whole way down for the whole shot, all the way down, no cuts, just going all the way down, and that's, to get that all together, up-resing this 9K plates and to get it out in 3 weeks, that's the most important thing to make this workflow, adaptable, which was, once it was all built, I could do whatever I wanted, basically. And then that's it, and I'll show you a video of the making of, which kind of goes through what I've just talked about, and then it's got the video again at the end, and maybe with some sound. So that's what the director basically came in. We looked down the street and we worked out where we were going to shoot all these people. Once I had my method of shooting, I wanted to test it on a red camera so that I wasn't just taking my test that I'd done on a 5D, going straight into, to the shoot, only having tested it on a, not on a professional camera. So the other issues we had it was the weather on the day. It's classic worst day for a shoot where the clouds coming over. So one day you've got, 1 minute you've got really hot sun, the next minute you're all in shadows. So I had to paint a lot of the shadows back in and make sure the plates work together. So without shooting on this mirror rig, we'd never be able to punch in super tight. And this whole job from the first meeting was, it's probably 8 weeks from the first meeting I had to final delivery. So it was really important to work out how to shoot it really early on and get it all working and testing.
Welcome to the city of gold, the city I roll, home to the grittiest.
From old school boom back to backpacking and a rack, I'm laughing at a scallywag. Practice till I'm bad at
So
that.
rotten, my people love you forgotten.
Yeah, I got a good heart. I was born on beat, that's a good start.
This one's for my sisters. This comes from the heart, from the little girls in the park to the baby mamas working hard.
Better than what? Better than who? Better than me, I'm better than you. Better than what? Better than who? Better than me, I'm better than you.
Yeah, I'm lead for the beat. To the top, round dogs with me. If you don't know about me.
Bruv, you are having a bubble. I'm a whole different kettle of fish. Thou shalt not mess with this. My thing, I tell him like this.
I am big, I am bright, I am rougher than fun. I am tougher than a lion, tougher than the
Street Summer, a season of programs on street culture, coming soon on 4.